Hello and welcome to another video of eScoot Talks. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how to be safe out there riding your e-scooter on the roads, and also we're going to be talking to a motorist, so make sure to stick to the end of the video. Before riding your e-scooter, e-bike, electric unicycle or bicycle, check your tire pressure to avoid punctures, but also check your nuts, bolts, screws, suspension and brakes, of course. You want to make sure that you can stop quickly if needed. Amount of scooters that come to our workshop with brakes not working is just unbelievable. I know that scooters have regenerative braking or e-brakes, and it's not easy to figure out when your mechanical brake isn't working anymore, but there is quite simple way to figure it out. When your e-scooter is switched off, your e-brake is switched off as well. So that's the easiest way to check is your actual mechanical brake working properly. You can put your scooter on a chair or a coffee table, hold the brake and try and spin your wheel with your hand. If you can spin it freely, then your brake is obviously faulty and you need to either adjust it or replace brake pads or brake shoes. If you can't spin the wheel, that still doesn't mean that your brake is perfectly fine. Take the scooter off your chair, put it on the ground, and while it's still turned off, try and push it. Just use it as a push scooter, Get on the scooter, push a couple of times and try and brake. Likely you won't reach big speeds and you should be able to stop anyways. If you can stop quickly enough and you think that that's perfectly fine, then okay. If not, then again, your brake needs to be adjusted or some brake parts needs to be replaced. If you're not sure how to do it properly yourself, or even how to check a brake properly yourself, just bring it to some place, make sure that it's a reputable place, bring it there until they'll take care of it. How often should you check your e-scooter is a good question. I would check my brakes once a week roughly, but it really depends on how much I'm actually using my scooter. When it comes to nuts, bolts, suspension and everything else, it really depends on the roads in your area and the riding style, but I would roughly do it every 500 to 1000 kilometers unless I'm doing some off-roading. If I'm doing off-roading, then I check scooter usually after every ride. I make sure that I clean my scooter and that I check all important parts on it. Checks that I would perform on my scooter, especially after off-roading, even that applies even for riding on a road because the roads are full of bumps and potholes. So my checklist is first of all wheel bolts, wheel axles and wheel bearings, especially wheel bearings because your scooter was under lots of stress, lots of vibrations, so we just double check that there is not any weird noise coming out to my wheels. Also, when it comes to axle treads and bolts, I would check for rust buildup, because if there is any rust or corrosion starting to build up, that needs to be treated immediately. Otherwise, it's just gonna give you a headache a little bit later during maintenance. Another thing that I would definitely check is a folding mechanism. Then I would also check a stem bearings and overall, is there any play in the stem? And of course, suspension nuts and bolts, nuts and bolts that are holding suspension in place. Make sure that none of that didn't came loose under stress or whatever. Also, what I would check on the scooters that have a battery compartment cover on the bottom side, I would definitely check screws just to make sure that I didn't hit some rock and damage some of those screws. As I said already, after every off-road ride I would clean my scooter, but even my everyday scooter that I'm using, I clean it every now and then, because cleaning your scooter is really important because it prevents rust buildup and further damages when you're performing maintenance. Also, make sure you wear your protective gear. First on the list is going to be helmet, but you can also put some protectors and reflectors, especially if you're riding in night. You never know when your taillight's gonna stop working. Like, LEDs don't last forever. On powerful scooter, motorbike gear and full face helmet is also a good choice. And yes, you might think, well, it doesn't look cool, but hospital also doesn't look cool at all. For example, when I'm on e-scooter that can go over 50 kilometers per hour, I would usually wear my full motorbike gear, full face helmet, even that I hardly ever exceed 40 to 50 kilometers per hour. Now let's talk a bit to motorists. Have you ever heard about Dutch Reach? Let me know in the comments down below, please. In towns, cyclists and motorists share roads in some way, and packed traffic is recipe for accidents, right? We've all seen situations where motorists open car door or exit in vehicle without checking side mirrors. Just today I was sent a link to a Twitter video of a guy on a moped being pushed under the lorry by a motorist who opened a car door without checking is there any cyclist or motorist passing by. If driver used the Dutch approach to open doors, he could have probably avoided that. Dutch reach is when you open door with the opposite hand. So if you're a driver, let's say here in Ireland, and you're opening right door with the left hand, or if you're a passenger or a driver in France or Germany, then you're opening the left door with your right hand. And it's great in a way that like you turn your body around and you look at the mirror. You can literally, side mirror is going to be in front of you. But it's natural when you're turning your body around that you're going to actually turn the head around as well. So you might actually spot the motorists or cyclist or electric scooter or someone approaching, and then, of course, stop and prevent injuring that person. Dutch reach is a brilliant way to avoid injuring other road users or even saving lives, because in the video, as I said, that I saw today, there was a lorry coming on the side of the road parallel with the cyclist, and when the driver of the car opened the door, cyclist hit that and it just choked him in the middle of the road, luckily in between wheels. He could have ended up, just in front of those wheels, and if that lorry was going a little bit faster, that would be absolute disaster. So yeah, this is definitely a brilliant thing. I never heard about it until today, and I'm definitely going to be using that approach from now on when I'm driving my car. That will be all for this episode. All images used in today's video are from pexels.com, and I'm going to put a link in the description down below. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit that like button. Also, if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I usually post videos on Saturday, Sunday or Monday, depending how much time I have. So if you don't want to miss any of my next videos, make sure to turn on all notifications. If you have a topics you want me to discuss, leave it in the comments down below. Also, if you have any questions, also leave it in the comments down below. I might reply in a comment, or I might include that question in coming videos and you're going to get reply there. Thank you so much for watching, commenting and sharing. Till next time, stay safe out there and respect other road users. That's all. Bye bye.